Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Gunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 57 of chapter 57 of Kishkindha Kanda. In the previous chapter, we saw all the monkeys have seated on the Kusha grass for a fast unto death, and at that time they saw a great vulture approaching them. And then Angada, out of fear of death, he went on saying many things, connecting the death of King Dasharatha with the death of King Wali, and then to the death of demons and the death of Jatayu to the current state of their own problems, their own issues. But at that time, Sampathi, being the elder brother of Jatayu, was surprised hearing the news of his younger brother Jatayu, and it requested the Vanaras to bring it down from the mountain peak as it is unable to fly, with its wings being scorched and it is burnt out of the heat. Though the voice of Sampathi faltered on account of grief, the chief of the monkeys, that is Angada, did not trust him, doubting his intentions. Because if we bring it that great vulture down, it might kill all of us and might eat all of us. Seated for the purpose of fasting to death, the monkeys, seeing that vulture, framed the following resolution, saying, let us help him to descend, and he will then devour us all. Let him eat all of us. Should he do so while we are seated here fasting, we shall have achieved our purpose and shall speedily attain success. It is greatly believed that simply dying through fasting, rather than that, it is better to be the food for some other being. So let the vulture eat us. Anyway, we were preparing ourselves for the death. Having thus resolved, they assisted the vulture to descend from the summit of the mountain, and Angada addressed him, saying, there was a great king of the monkeys named Riksharaja. He went on telling the stories starting from his grandfather. Great king of the monkeys named Riksharaja, the founder of our race. He was my grandfather, O bird. He had two virtuous sons, Vali and Sugriva. Both were exceedingly powerful. My father, Wali, was famed throughout the world for his exploits. Generally, we should start our introduction starting from the elders in our family because who knows? The Sampati, being a bird of very old age, he may be knowing about Wali or he may be knowing about Riksharaja, and because of that reason, he might do a favor for us. Who knows about it? Now it happened that the sovereign of the whole earth, the descendant of Ikshvaku, the great and illustrious warrior Rama, the son of King Dasharatha, obedient to the injunctions of his father, fixed in the path of righteousness, entered the forest of Dandaka with his brother Lakshmana and his consort Vaidehi. His spouse was forcibly borne away from Janasthana by Ravana, and the friend of Rama's father, the prince of vultures, Jatayu, observed Sita, Videha's daughter, being carried through the air, having shattered Ravana's chariot and released Maithili. That vulture, being old and exhausted, finally fell under Ravana's blows. Slain by the powerful Ravana, he had his funeral rites performed by Rama himself and attained the celestial abode. Then Raghava allied himself with my paternal uncle Sugriva and slew my father who had banished him from the kingdom with his ministers. Observe here, while Angada is speaking to the stranger bird, he is speaking only the positive aspects of it, never putting anyone in in the negative light. Neither the Dasharatha nor the Rama nor his own parents Riksharaja, Vali, or Sugriva. Even though Vali was killed by Sugriva, he is putting that same thing in a right perspective, saying that Wali uh, had actually driven him, banished Sugriva from the kingdom, and for that reason, Sugriva developed a relation with Rama, who in turn killed Wali. Having killed Wali, Rama installed Sugriva as lord and monarch of all the monkeys. We have been sent by Sugriva, we have been sent by him in all directions under Rama's order to search for Sita. But we have not found Vaidehi, as by night one is unable to perceive the splendor of the sun. Having explored the Dandaka forest, we, through ignorance, penetrated into a cave through a rift in the earth. That cavern was constructed by the elusive power of Maya, and there we passed the month fixed by the king of the monkeys as the term appointed. While executing the commands of Sugriva, we exceeded the time fixed, and from fear have seated ourselves here, resolved to die of hunger. For if we return to face the wrath of Kakusta, Sugriva, and Lakshmana, we shall surely be put to death. Thus ended chapter 57 of Kishkindha Kanda in Ramayana. Observe here Angada is putting forth only the positive aspects while he is meeting the stranger Sampathi. And often, even in our discussions with the clients, we used to give the instruction saying that never kick your boss, because if you try to default, if you try to say bad words about your own boss, then it is not a problem for your boss, but instead you will be seen in a negative light. So here Angada ensured that Sampati should never see the Vanaras in the negative light. Instead of that, like he is trying to later, he keep on trying to bring parallel between the death of Jatayu, which also died for the work of Rama, and the death that these apes are following, which is also towards the death of which is also in the service of Rama. So both Jatayu and the Vanaras, they are dying, and Jatayu being already dead, and Vanaras about to die for the service of Rama. And this kind of bringing in parallel will create a sympathy towards the Vanaras in the minds of Sampati. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.